Hello and welcome to Elite Dangerous. I am, as you can see, I'm at Polo Harbor and I aim to fly to the next waypoint tonight. And thanks for being part of this, and thanks to my new follower who just started following, Seed something or other. Couldn't quite remember that. Anyway, so I'm at Polo Harbor, as you can see. And I want to go to the next waypoint, which is 202 jumps away, I just noticed. So, I don't know if we will manage that tonight, but I will give my best, and we'll see. It's supposed to be quite nice there. Quite the system, quite the view. So I definitely want to stream that. So if I don't make it tonight, I'll probably try to get there tomorrow and stream that, so you won't miss that. I'll definitely show that. Yeah, this will be chilled. I'll just fly to the next waypoint. If you have seen these before, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just flying and honking. So I think with that, I think we should get underway because we have quite a way to go. It seems. So let's just check something here. Yeah, let's just carefully.
Ship detached. You may leave when ready.
And I think I got everything I need to
Landing gear retracted.
do. We can get underway here. So let's just have a look around here as we leave Polo Harbor. It's a nice red sky. Quite the view, actually. It's actually quite nice. Yeah, so thanks for being there. Hope you're having a good week, having a good evening. And I'm doing quite well. My motorbike's out of action and quite ill, and I'm never. Oh, look at that moon there. That's lovely. I'm never really happy when my bike isn't happy, so I got that to sort out. Oh, we can't. We have to go to cruise first. We can't jump immediately. I like to jump out of the atmosphere.
3, 2.
Something that if you're a Star Trek fan or whatever science fiction is, mostly that is never done for some reason. It always feels dangerous and weird. But in Elite you can do that sometimes. Not right now. No. Somewhere. Get somewhere there. Man, I really need to get a new spacesuit. This looks like blood. Every time I look down there, it's like, did I kill somebody last night in the bar? I mean, yeah, it happens, but it's not a nice thought. That. Anyway, let's have a bit of a scenic view here again as we leave. It's lovely. Where's the FSD engine on this? Is it below? Where's the usually there's a big glowing most ships. Ooh, camera confusion. With most ships there's a big glowing FSD engine. But this seem to they're down there, right? That looks that's pretty small. That looks like the FSD engine right there. Interesting. That is intriguing for such a big ship. Such a small engine. I think we can jump now. I think we are pretty much out of the gravity well of that planet. Can just turn around to here, and then let's get underway.
Drive charging.
Anyway, how are you doing? If anybody's is there, chime in the chat, say hello. Tell me what you're up to.
4, 3, 2,
Despite my bike being broken, I had quite a good day today. I've been planning to do a new podcast for quite a while, and I've had made plans, and I had made some test recordings, and I wanted to record the first episode. I tried that yesterday, but didn't have enough time. And just before this, I sat down and recorded the first episode, and that always feels great.
Scoping.
So that's in the bag. Looking forward to releasing that maybe next week.
Fuel scoping complete.
I might give you a sneak peek if you're in the Discord. You might get to listen to it early. It's about Magic the Gathering. I've been planning to do this since early December. And I'm quite happy. I picked a nice soundtrack, a theme song. That's always good. By the way, speaking of music, like
Frame shift drive.
I was
charging.
using woo. Yeah, 200 jumps. This is gonna be tough. I was playing some stream safe music on the last stream, and of course I still got flagged on YouTube.
4, 3,
Even though it's like from
2,
the Twitch
1.
stream
Engage.
safe library, but I guess YouTube doesn't know about that. Fucking copyright, I tell ya. Yeah, I'm not against copyright in principle, but oh my god, it's just so not. It's so not up with how people use technology. If there's one set of laws that really needs a big overhaul, it's copyright law. But I guess that will
Fuel
never happen.
scoping complete.
There are way too many entrenched businesses in this. And it'll take ages. Anyway, speaking of taking ages, let me show you. Ooh, look at this. We are definitely, as you can tell, we're getting up to the center of the galaxy here. This is the way we came. Burp. And there's a lot of stars here. There's a lot of fucking stars. Just look at this. Ooh. Amazing. And we are going there. Which, I mean, that's a huge. This must be the longest leg of the journey so far. Bypassing Colonia, just going straight there. And there's a lot of stars here. Just look at that. That's just star. Oh, that's quite. It's actually quite high above the galactic plane. Interesting. Yeah, that's where we're going, and it's quite close to Sec A. Like, you know, well, if we're going to Sec A next, that's going to be a shorter distance than what we're doing right now. Hello, Reamed. Good day to you. The first one in the
Frame
chat.
shift
How are you
drive
doing?
charging.
How are things? Do you have power? I guess Reamed was having power issues up there in Berlin.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Not having power sounds like the worst thing that could happen. I got power. He's got power. Yes. More power to you. Yeah, that sounds like a horrible thing. Not having power. I mean, how would you play Elite? I'd have to get like a diesel
Fuel
generator.
scoping.
And then somehow suspend it outside the window in a second
Fuel
story.
scoping complete.
I don't know how that would work. It was more like the other part of Berlin. Well, that's great. If it's the other part, you know, they can not have the power as long as you have power.
Frame shift drive charging.
Yeah, I was read that story. I don't have to until Sunday, man, says Reamed, who's already at the waypoint. Because he's as we say in Germany, he's a fucking Streber.
3, 2,
He's eager.
1.
He's a tryhard. Yeah, I mean, I'm less behind than I usually am. So, quite happy with that. Quite good. Like, the official meetup is tomorrow. And even if I don't
Fuel scoping.
make that now, then probably can make it tomorrow. I will have to.
Scoping complete.
So I won't have time to do anything on the weekend because the parents are coming down, which is not bad, but you know, takes away your gaming time. So we got 6,500 light years to go. Guess this is how many jumps I gotta do. Currently 198. Guess this is why Ikwik said, are you doing neutron stars? I'm still too scared for that. I'm not.
3, 2,
I'm not doing that. Let's not do that. I'm doing it the old school way. Also, I like to hang out and chat. I mean, it's one of the big reasons I'm doing this. So I like to chat. And I mean, this is basically my equivalent of doing like a talk show stream. You might as well play games while you're doing that. Just look at the fucking
fuel scoping complete.
Sky! My god, I love it so close to the galactic center. I mean, look at the stars. Jesus. It's fucking amazing. I read a story today. Look, even Ikwik got used to it. Well, yeah, he's hanging out with you. That's why. You know. I'm taking it slowly, you know. I won't be rushed. Look, I'm a guy who has 37 million in the bank, you know. We don't like to get stressed as millionaires. I have to see, this is why it takes me so long, because I do shit like this. It's just I have to just take in that view. I mean, come on. Fuck. This is great. This is bloody amazing. This is just screenshot that, man. Look at that. I love these blue stars. The light they are giving is just so much cooler. And then amazing J.J. Abrams lens flare. Space, the final frontier. Have you seen this video? I guess they had Patrick Stewart was on a talk show in the UK, and he was oh, wrong button. They were asking him because he's getting this spin-off show. Ikwik's there. Hello, Ikwik. Why aren't you like talking to us in the chat? More exploration money, to be honest.
3, 2.
Ha! I saw you lurking. Yes, Ikwik. Chime in, man. I need your input here. Yeah. So Patrick Stewart was on this talk show, and they were talking to him, and he was like, they were talking about, you know, him playing Picard for so long, whatever, and he was like saying that apparently, they were asking like the character was originally envisioned quite different, and then Patrick Stewart says yes, for one thing he was French, you know, actual French, not like the Picard that's turned out to be, who is French in name only, and then is in France in one episode or whatever, and then he is not very French. Anyway, sorry, just gotta text the wife. The wife is having fun out in town, while I'm just nerding around here for you people. Yeah, and so he was like, yeah, they had him as a French character, so we tried. I tried playing him with. We did some screen tests, and the footage has to be somewhere where I tried it with a French accent, and then he does like this: space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. So good. I don't know if they seriously did that, but you know, he's like, they didn't take the character like this. They didn't want me to do that. Oh, that would have been great if he had done that through the whole show. Number one. With the French. I can't even do a French accent. Number one.
Fuel scoping complete.
Yeah, I guess he wouldn't drink Earl Grey, right? He'd be drink. What do French people drink aside from like red wine? I mean, do they have? They're not really known for tea, are they? I mean, I guess they would drink coffee. Guess like us, the Germans.
Frame shift drive
Wow!
charging.
Oh god, this orange. My god, this looks so good. I love this game. It's so beautiful. Une café, un croissant. Cidre, yeah, cidre. Un cidre or un chocolat chaud avec chantilly. That's one of the few French things I brought over from my childhood because I ordered that like every day when we were in France. Hot chocolate with cream. Un chocolat chaud avec chantilly. Yeah, cidre. Une cidre cold. And a little bit of cheese. It's always like a baguette and a little bit of cheese.
Fuel
I mean,
scoping.
what kind of fits? I mean, Stuart plays like Picard as.
Fuel scoping
I'm rewatching
complete.
TNG right now. If I wasn't pastis, yes, Galtern, you're right. Pastis. You would drink pastis. That would be better as well. And like a real, like I drink it, like a real French person, right? Not mix it with
Frame
water,
shift drive
but
charging.
drink it pure, and then have a water with it, and just mix it in your stomach. Yeah, he that would be great if he'd be going around drinking pastis. And I like he plays him a little bit like a British
3,
nobleman, like he's
1,
quite distant
engage.
stuff. I'm rewatching it right now. As I said, I'll be watching this if I wasn't streaming, like while I'm jumping. And he plays him like that, but it's kind of, it works because the distance, like if it played him as a French guy, the distance would be the same, you know. The Romulans would go on screen, and he would be like really cold. But okay, he'd be cold to the Romulans. But even like if it's like a Federation admiral, he would be like, Admiral,
Fuel scoping complete.
what can I do for you? Yeah, so I don't know. French Picard. He would also say Picard. Like that's the thing. That's weird. That really got me when I started watching TNG in English,
Frame shift
because
drive charging.
in the German, I mean, you can fault the German dubbing for a lot of things, and I generally don't like. I like to watch things like in the original language, not dubbed if I can. But in German, they call him Captain Picard.
3, 2,
You know.
1.
Not Picard.
Engage.
In English, he keeps saying Picard, and even like when he's in France, I mean, you could say, okay, everybody calls me that. I'll adapt like this. I understand that having lived in another country, like I adapt. I'll call myself that as well because if I say Picard, everybody will just get confused. Like, how do you spell that? So I understand that. But then it's like this episode when he's in La Barre, and it's like he's there with his brother, who's like on this vineyard. It's obviously not in France, right? This is like filmed
Frame shift drive charging.
in Southern California, I'm pretty sure, like in the wine region, right? And it's like this house that looks like an American has built himself what they think a European house would look like.
3, 2,
And but it is clearly not a
engage.
European. I mean, the inside, the decoration they did with like the furniture is quite close to, I guess, a French country house, but the outside doesn't look like it. And there's all these English actors, like his, I think, sister-in-law and his brother, and even the kid. Like,
Fuel scoping.
they're all obviously British actors, and everybody keeps calling him Picard, like not like a French person would say
Fuel
that at all.
scoping complete.
Like, what? Oh. It's almost as bad as the fucking episode in the first
Frame
season.
shift drive
Oh,
charging.
I think I'm forgetting to honk here. It's not good. Getting too distracted. There's an episode in the first season where Picard is like,
4,
it's called We Always Have
3,
Paris,
2,
and he
engage.
meets like his old love interest, who I guess he was gonna hook up with, but then he decided to, he was posted by Starfleet and he had to leave, and he was supposed to meet her in a cafe in Paris, and he doesn't, like, he leaves her hanging basically, and he meets her again, and then, but I think, like, even before, like, he sees her on screen, and then they fly to the planet, and then he goes to the holodeck and just visits, like, the Café des Artistes in Paris, and it's like this set that A, doesn't look like a cafe, and B, doesn't look like anything in Paris, and it's got like this matte painting in the back of like the Eiffel Tower, and with like a tube going through, like a, I don't know, like a Tesla, no, the Tesla, what's that? Musk's other project. That thing. Anyway, it's just like a subway, and the tube goes. It just looks ridiculous. Like these matte paintings in the first season. I think it also looks ridiculous because if you watch it now, like even on Netflix, it's like the HD remastered version.
Fuel scoping.
And yeah, the matte paintings don't really hold up to that, I would say. It's quite funny. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. I've also been listening to the Greatest Generation podcast, which is great. Galtern says, in fact, pronouncing Picard with a D is logical when you consider they pronounce Jean-Luc like Luke. Yeah, they do say that, right? They say Jean-Luc. Yeah, I've never. I've never noticed that. They say Jean-Luc. Like Beverly keeps calling him Jean-Luc. And it should be Jean-Luc. Jean-Luc. I guess. I mean, my French is not. I learned French for 4 years in school. I've been to France a lot, but like my French is horrible. But pronunciation, I can do a little bit, but I would say Jean-Luc. Jean-Luc. I love how he says Beverly, by the way. Where like in the first season they start this thing where, because they know each other. I think at the beginning Picard, even though he knows her so well because her husband was best friend and he buried him, whatever. And but he tries to keep distance. He always says Dr. Crusher, and she starts calling him Jean-Luc, Jean-Luc, whatever. And then they like she starts to, it's some episode where they get close because I guess it's the one where they're drunk. I think that's the second episode. Anyway, he keeps going Beverly, just saying Beverly. So good. It's like how I never noticed this, but whoa, the stars, look at that. The Greatest Generation put me onto that. They keep. He keeps referring to the boy, like whenever somebody mentions Wesley, there are like two things. Like Beverly has to says, like especially in the first season, she always has to say, "My son," so that everybody notices that Wesley is her son. Just look at that! Wow! Holy shit! Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me, this view. Yeah, and so she keeps saying that, but she always says, "The boy." Somebody says, Wesley did this. The boy.
Frame shift drive charging.
It's ridiculous. I love that show. And then of course I've watched The Expanse, third season. Amazing. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Start with season 1, obviously. If it's too slow for you, keep going.
Engage.
It's gonna get a lot more action packed, especially in season 3. Season 2 isn't bad. Like I really like the first season, that pace, like that film noir story, and Miller, and I love the first season. The Expanse is, I think, my favorite season. I love the pacing. I love everything about that. But I know that I'm not normal. Like I like westerns, so normal people always probably get. I think it has the problem that quite a lot of people I know got bored and never kept. I had to like badger them to keep watching it, and I think they really noticed that for season 2. They dialed it up a lot, and it's great. You have to watch it. It's really good. And then I've been watching Discovery, Star Trek Discovery as well. Yeah, I like it. It's really good. I like the first season. I think beginning of the second season, I thought the second season was better. The last 2 episodes I didn't like that much, but you know, we'll see. It has this stupid thing where it's like an episode a week. It's like, what the fuck? It's a Netflix show, I guess, because CBS All Access wants to put them out. I have no fucking clue. It's so annoying. I do like Pike. Pike's great. I love Lorca as well. I think he was. I really like the actor. But Pike is great. He's fun. I have no idea how they're gonna tie this all together. I guess it's all now that they have Section 31. It's gonna be all like Section 31 stuff, and that'll just magically.
Fuel scoping complete.
Something will happen to the timeline, and who knows. Currently, they're on the search for Spock, so they're basically recreating Star Trek 3. Oh my god! I watched the motion picture recently. My wife was watching it with me. She's like, "Oh fuck, this is like 2001." She hates that movie. And yeah, it's a bit like that. Oh, it's just a lot of like. I love how the Klingons look like. Their makeup is so shit in the motion picture. Like they went with, like they created these new tougher looking Klingons, and then they're not the main attraction of the film, and they do really look shit.
Fuel scoping.
The ships look great, but they look fucking horrible.
Fuel scoping complete.
And then I recently watched Star Trek 2. Khan! Yeah, at that, I think we've watched it before, but my wife was really surprised how much, and I hadn't thought about that, but it's true, how much untypically Star Trek that movie is. It's really not very Star Trek. It's more like, it's a bit more Star Wars, actually, like in the way the drama works and everything, and they completely, like, you can tell that they completely fucked themselves in the motion picture with, like, okay, I guess it's years later, Kirk's an admiral now, like Spock's a captain, and then they have to have this whole storyline how Kirk's now very like disillusioned and doesn't like a desk job and doesn't want to be an admiral, and keep referring with Bones telling him that like it was a mistake, and of course later he's gonna become a captain again because they steal that Schiff.
Fuel scoping.
Die klauen das Schiff, ja, and then he gets demoted or whatever, and that's ridiculous because
Fuel scoping complete.
if you're an admiral, you steal a starship, then you make you captain again. They don't throw you out of Starfleet. Like, what the fuck? But yeah. I mean,
Frameshift drive charging.
Kirk is not that old. Like they're in that movie. If you've seen TNG, like there are plenty of people at that age who were just, and I guess at any age who were just stayed captain, because like there's just some people you wouldn't promote to admiral. They're like not admiral material. Like not as in they're like too dumb or something. It's like Kirk is definitely not admiral material. He's like not a desk job guy. You could tell that he would kill himself. Like Picard, you know, you can see as an admiral. You can definitely. Like there's this one episode where they offer him like to run Starfleet Academy. You could completely see that. He goes on about the Academy so much. But Kirk is like a guy who'd be captain until he retires, right? That's his thing. He wants to be out there, and then he would settle on some frontier planet or something. Like he definitely not settle on Earth, like, you know, like he does.
Fuel scoping complete.
That's just the wrong move. Yeah, it's God. Although, you know, Wrath of Khan is a good movie. It's a lot better than the motion picture, I think.
Frame shift
It's interesting
drive
because
charging.
before Discovery, like Discovery apparently was a major clusterfuck in production, stuck in production hell for ages, and you can kind of see it right
4,
at the seams.
3,
And
1.
I mean, they changed a lot from then, I guess, but like there was rumors that the guy who did Wrath of Khan was doing or had spec'd a series and had pitched that to CBS. And even for some time there were rumors they were developing that series in case Discovery would just not get good reception. I guess it's gotten a pretty good reception. I mean, it must have. It's one of the most expensive TV series out there right now. I think it's about like 5 million per episode. I mean, they wouldn't run that if they wouldn't like I mean, it's a big bet for CBS All Access, but still, like if nobody fucking would watch it, I think they would kill it. Yeah.
Frame shift drive
I
charging.
like the actors in Discovery. I like the way the series generally works. I like the way they modernized it so that it's like a story arc over the whole season and not so much Monster of the Week. I like that some episodes are still like Monster of the Week. Season 2 seems to have more of that to feel more like Star Trek. What I don't like is that they said it where they did. Even though in the last episode, the thing I liked about it was like number 1 when she came aboard and she looked really much like Majel Barrett in the cage. That was really cool. I really yawned for like everybody, like they really 60s her up, like with the hair and the makeup. She looked like straight out of the 60s. Like my wife was like, is she from the 60s or something? And I was like, yeah, this is supposed to be. I showed her a picture of Majel Barrett in the cage, and it's like they're going for that look. And they did that really well. I wish they had done the whole show like that. Like if they said it before TOS, right, and tied that in, they should have done it like that. They should have done the colorful uniforms. Oh, we're entering Odin's Hold. Entering Odin's Hold. Never been in Odin's Hold before, I think, even before they made the sectors.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so I would have absolutely loved it if they had made, like, had 60 the whole show up like that. It would have been great. And I don't know if that was the plan, one of the plans, and then they changed it, whatever. What I really like, there are a lot of things that don't feel about Star Trek, like Star Trek about Discovery, and one of the things is that they modernized it and it's got a different story structure and it's more season based. I actually don't mind that. I think that's to some degree that's Star Trek growing up. That just needs to be happening for it to be relevant today to people today. I don't mind that. What I mind is the fucking intro.
4, 3, 2,
the fucking intro is
1.
Like the music is. I like the visuals are okay. The music is horrendous, and I don't hate them for doing new things. Like I'm one of the very few people who loves the Enterprise intro, and there is like somebody on YouTube did like a montage and just put the Enterprise intro under the Discovery intro sequence, and it's so much better. Like it fucking fits as well. It's like really good. And I just hate. What I really hate about the Discovery intro is that they didn't have the balls to completely go for a new thing, because it is this new intro. It's completely different. And then for the last 10 seconds, it's like you got the ship flying towards the screen and it does the and it's like, why didn't you do that from the fucking beginning? No, you wanted to do something completely different. Then fucking stick with it and not have this cop out at the end. So to tell the viewer, hey, you're actually watching Star Trek. I don't like that. That's the thing I really don't like. And the other thing is just like, the other thing that's really not Star Trek about it is the whole fungus network jump drive bullshit. and the way they
Fuel
explain that,
scoping.
and like, oh yeah, fungi tie
System
together
scan complete.
everything in the universe.
System scan. Fuel
They,
scoping
you know,
complete.
that's why we can jump anywhere. There's this whole parallel universe, which for some reason never ever get mentioned again. Like, I mean, they will have to destroy that complete reality for this. Like, even then, I don't know if it makes sense, but that would the only reason for it to make sense, that when Voyager gets stranded on the other
Frameshift
side
drive charging.
of the galaxy, like, for somebody, some science guy, not to mention, you know, remember that, like, mushroom network? Like, can't we try to go in there? Like, even no matter how far-fetched it is, no matter why they never go in there again, like, you would mention that if it is not completely, utterly destroyed. And I don't believe that, like, Section 31 can now completely, like, they can retcon it so that nobody, like, that it's going to be classified at the end of Discovery, because they built a whole ship class to jump there, and they basically
Fuel
did lose the
scoping.
war with the Klingons
System
because
scan
of that.
complete.
Like, there's no way that can be classified and nobody knows.
Fuel scoping.
They probably
complete.
just forgot. Yeah, does the Voyager crew strike you like does Tuvok strike you like somebody who would just forget? No. That doesn't, like, that's, and so, well, that's one thing. Okay, that's maybe nitpicking, but I
Frameshift
think the
drive
really problem
charging.
I have with that, and I must say, I had a colleague who a year back or so wrote a piece for Telepolis, which is a German
2.
kind of magazine. They belong to Heise.
Engage.
And he wrote this comparison about when Discovery came out and The Expanse was just, you know, The Expanse, the first season was out at that point. And he was comparing them, and he was saying how, like, so Star Trek's thing, I mean, in anything, science fiction, fantasy, in anything, you have to have suspension of
System
disbelief.
scan complete.
Always have to have that in fiction.
Fuel scoping.
And Star Trek thing is not that it doesn't have that. Star Trek's
Fuel
thing is
scoping complete.
it has always tried from the original series, where there was a lot more suspension of disbelief and it was a lot more wacky, but it was supposed to be this plausible future, and all the things they did, they tried to describe
Frameshift
in
drive
ways that
charging.
would make sense with the at that time, always at that time, of course, knowledge of physics. I mean, there is a reason why we now have flip phones. There's a reason why scientists are working
3, 2,
on a
1.
transporter. You know, there are actually experiments of like transporting atoms and stuff like that. It is because on a general level, that always made sense. There was a jump, a suspension of disbelief, but it was based on everything the writers
Fuel
knew
scoping.
about science. You know, about scientific progress at that point. And nearly hit the star there. I'm
scoping
getting
complete.
too riled up here. And I got a lot of jumps to go. And I mean, they were wrong. For example, one of my pet peeves is that Star Trek, like a lot of other science fiction, has genetic memory in quite some
Frameshift
episodes,
drive
and that's
charging.
because there was like a theory, like when TOS was on, that was already disproved, but there was this thing, some scientist came up with this idea of memory RNA. So he was thinking that, he was doing experiments and thinking that organisms can encode, because they had just, DNA and RNA was new, and they had just learned how that works, and it was like, basically DNA is a way to encode information, right? It's like a, like a hard drive, basically. And they were like, oh, maybe organisms can store information. And he did this experiments with like flatworms, I think. Basically, he made them run through a maze. And then, so they were acquiring knowledge of how to run this maze.
Fuel scoping.
And then he killed them, ground them up, and fed them to their descendants. And so the idea was, okay, if they're encoding this information in their RNA, then the descendants can eat, if they eat them, can like take up the RNA and incorporate into their organism, and then they get the same information, and then they can solve the maze quicker. And it actually turned out, yes, the descendants were able to solve the maze quicker. That got disproved very quickly. Basically, the idea is the thinking is that he didn't clean the maze properly, and there were like pheromones. Something was left, so you know that the other generation, these generations are quite quick, right? With like little organisms like that, and they were like they could like smell where the other ones, or like detect where the other ones had gone before them. And so that's, for example, is an example which is like that was like basically fake science, like fake science, you would say today.
Fuel scoping complete.
And so stuff like that got built into Star Trek. Okay, of course, yes. But the general assumption always was like, okay, we look at science as it is today, at scientific progress,
Frameshift drive
and
charging.
we'll try to make our stuff make sense. Like the warp drive, right? There is a scientific principle, which of course we don't know if it works. We haven't built one, but there's a thing called the Alcubierre drive, which is basically the same thing that Elite Dangerous uses as well. It's a way of, because you can't. The idea is, because you can't propel an object, let's say a spacecraft, quick. I mean, this is not completely true, but like simplified. Can't really make it faster than light. You know, objects can't go faster than light. So
Fuel scoping complete.
what can we do to travel faster than light? Well, we could have like a way of having the part of space that the ship is in stay the same, but the surroundings like change space-time, so that basically you have point A where the ship is, you have point B, and what you're actually doing is you're bringing point A and B together with enormous energy, distorting space-time, and the actual area of space the ship is in will not move. So the actual ship is not going faster than the speed of light, but because you're distorting space-time, you're going a distance that if you went that in normal space, you'd be going faster than the speed of light. And I mean, this is how the warp drive works. And the guy who did the scientific principle is Alcubierre, where it's now known as the Alcubierre drive. He was actually inspired by the warp drive in Star Trek. He's like, okay, that's a neat concept. How would we explain that in physics? You know, how would we actually, with what we know about the laws of physics, how would we explain that? And that's what he came up with. And now NASA is actually, I mean, they're researching the warp drive. A few years back, there was like news how they're building like they're not building a ship, but they're thinking about how could we build that? Like, what would we do if you wanted to build a warp drive? I mean, there's lots of things like that. And Star Trek has always at least tried. And that's always why I liked Star Trek and why it stuck with me more than stuff like Star Wars, for example.
Fuel scoping.
Babylon 5 is the same. Like, Babylon 5 actually has the guy who designed, you know, the fighter they have in Babylon 5, the Star Fury, where you're like standing up in. And the guy who designed that was asked by NASA if they could build a starship, like if he'd relinquish his copyright to them if they had ever built a starship like that. And he actually said, yeah, of course. He just had one. I think he stipulated that if they ever built one, they have to call it the Star Fury, which is great. I mean, that's the science fiction I love, because it inspires you. Like, it inspires you. It makes you interested in science.
3, 2,
and that is something that basically Star Trek is responsible for me as a kid being interested in science and in space and in the scientific method. I mean, I basically learned the scientific method from, they explain it in a really early TNG episode. That's where I learned it from. And then in school I was like, yeah, that's just how the scientific method works. And my teachers were like, what the fuck? He is 8. Why does he know that?
Fuel scoping. System scan.
And Discovery is at its core is not like that.
Fuel scoping
I mean,
complete.
the last episode was really bad. I mean, Stamets, I really like the actor. The actor is great. But Jonathan Rapp. But he has a stupid role. He's like this scientist.
Frameshift drive
And he is
charging.
named after like a fungal guy, right? A scientist who researches fungi. Paul Stamets. And I guess that's neat, but it's like the stuff he says. It's just like, I mean, Star Trek always had technobabble, right? It's not like
Engage.
often the writers have limitations. They try to understand how science works and do that, but then often it's just technobabble, like, which is the thing Star Trek has. But the spirit is there, right? And in Discovery, I don't feel it like that. It's like, I don't mind technobabble, but I mind if it's just like. So if your point is like, okay, we have this story and we're trying to make this adhere to like physical laws, and then we have to just say some things because this technology has not been invented, and we need to say something that sounds like this is plausible. You know, that's where technobabble comes from. Or like, we need to smooth over the plot here, but that's okay. But not if like your whole explanation for something is like completely bullshit. And in Discovery, it's less technobabble than it's biobabble. It's like this fungi connect everything, because when you die, your body gets taken apart by fungi. Yes, that is true. But that doesn't mean we're all like connected with invisible mycelia. Like, I mean, it's quite like the guy who came up with that is like, wouldn't that be a neat idea if everything in the universe was connected by these mycelia from like fungi we didn't know of, and then we could use that to just travel through space. Like, if somebody said, isn't that a neat idea, I'd say yes, write a book about that, like make a TV series out of that. If they then said, should we put that into Star Trek, I would say no. It doesn't feel like Star Trek. At least that's what I think. I don't know. If you disagree, feel free to tell me. That's what the chat's for. Wow, look at those. I'm going to say that again. Look at those stars. Holy fuck. Yeah, it's just, I mean, if Dave was here, he would now say, this is, oh, what's going on? Why is this? Why is it doing that? If Dave was here, he would say, well, that's just because you're not used to that, and you know, that's just the new technobabble. And maybe, but it's just it just doesn't feel Star Trek-y to me, to be honest. It's just, it feels weird. And it's just like, if it was only that, I might be able to forgive him. Like, I'd be like, okay, if you have that idea and you want to shoehorn that into existing Star Trek, oh wow, look at that. Oh, look at this. This is so beautiful. You would just, like, you've given yourself quite the, oh, these blue stars. My God, they're also white. You've given yourself quite the job, like, getting that into Star Trek, especially the prequel, right? And then shoehorning that in. I mean, Enterprise, there were quite some issues I had with, like, I kind of liked Enterprise as a series, still like it, but it has like this problem that it's really already unbelievable that was before TOS. Like, just some of the way the technology looks and stuff. I mean, they did a good job, like with the blue blue onesies, you know, basically workmen's uniforms as the uniforms, and like the whole ship, like there's always like this LCD panels. Like if you watch today, it's really dated because in some scenes you can actually see like LCD. You see that they're like really old school LCD panels, and that they have VGA connectors.
System scan
What?
complete.
Didn't at least have HDMI in the future.
Fuel scoping complete.
But like, you know, they tried. But then in Discovery, like, they don't even give a fuck. Like, they literally have people... oh. Wrong button there. They literally have people come out from the Enterprise, right? And this is literally shortly after the Cage. I think that's what they're telling us. You know, the Enterprise is just back from a 5-year journey. You feel like that was like after the Cage. And it's...
4, 3, 2, 1.
Like the uniforms look so much better. They have these gold Starfleet emblems where in TOS they just suit on. And oh my god, that's the main decision. I don't, as much as I like Discovery, like the main decision I completely don't understand is like, why didn't you just set
Fuel
that?
scoping.
Okay, you had the last TNG movie, right? Go 200 years in the
Fuel
future.
scoping complete.
And if you make the ship look like the inside of the Discovery or like the J.J. Abrams was then you'd be like, yeah, it's 200 years further from TNG. You know, it's all more shiny or whatever. And it doesn't matter that it's 200. I mean, it's 200 years. You don't. It's like TNG. You don't have to call back to the old stuff. You can if you don't, if you want. But like 200 years is a lot of time for people to forget stuff, and you could have a really interesting setup where maybe like the Federation got trashed, and it's all more nitty gritty. It's more Battlestar Galactica. I mean, there was so many ideas you could have. Like even then, like even if you go and then let's have the Mushroom
System
Network,
scan
right? And it's like 200 years in the
Fuel
future.
scoping.
That would be more sensible.
Fuel
I mean,
scoping
to me, it would still violate like some things that are just like that are just Star Trek to me. But it would just feel better.
Frame shift drive charging.
But I guess they are like preoccupied with prequels or something. I don't know. It's hard to understand Hollywood sometimes. God knows also what went on in the production of that series. Like, I think for what probably went on there,
2, 1.
we'll probably know in like 20 years or something. But like, for what probably went on there, I think they're making a good series right now. I enjoy watching it. It's just sometimes I long, especially now that I'm like watching TNG on the side. Sometimes I long for the Star Trekness. I mean, yeah,
Fuel scoping.
90s
System scan
Star Trek
complete.
is
System scan.
in some places really.
Fuel
I mean, you
scoping
almost you feel bad watching. It's like you're. It's hard to explain. It's like you're embarrassed, you know, for some of it. But then it has like these moments where like Picard goes like, you know, the age old cry of the suppressor? What? The age old cry of the oppressor, you know, a matter of internal security. Or it's like when he does this like the civil rights speech, when he's like with the first link the chain is forged. And it's like this, man, like it's not realistic. Like he's giving like a Shakespearean speech, but you're standing there, and the way Patrick Stewart delivers it, like your hair just raises on your arms, and it's just, yeah, it's not perfect.
Frame
you know,
shift drive charging.
Troy doesn't have a uniform. She gets completely objectified. Yes, but I feel like. Generally, you feel like their heart's in the right place.
4,
With Discovery, with
3,
some things, I feel like
2,
they just did that too.
1. Engage.
The way, like at least 50% of the bridge crew is female, and I mean, yes, but you feel like you expect that from Star Trek. Star Trek was always progressive, and you feel like they just, I feel like they just do that to appease like a certain element of the audience. They also didn't went the whole way. I'm completely believe that like Michael is called Michael because I am pretty sure that that was a trans character at some point.
Scoping complete.
And I'm pretty sure somebody nixed it, probably from higher up in the studio. So like we can't do this. We're not people are not ready for this. And if Michael would have been a trans character, that would have been, I mean, that's paving the way. I would have expected that from Star Trek, like in Enterprise, basically. That was the time. Enterprise, I like it, but it wasn't progressive.
Drive charging.
TNG was quite progressive. Like, if you think like this first episode's from '88 or something, like, you know, it's got some sexism problems, of course, but it's still generally, for the time,
3, 2, 1.
it's pretty trailblazing.
Engage.
I just don't feel that with Discovery. I don't know. I think the Expanse is much better that way. Also, like, definitely Discovery does have some Expanse envy. Like the first, I saw the pilot. I saw the Discovery pilot, right? And I'm like, the whole thing with like the when Burnham goes out of the ship and like space suits, really Expanse envy. But anyway, I like both shows exist. I like that we have sci-fi. That's the that's the best thing. But anyway, I've been boring you to death with rants about Star Trek. Let's look where we are. So we started there. Oh man, we have a lot of time to go. I actually didn't set a stopwatch. I have no idea how long this stream's been going on. Guess an hour now? Over an hour? Man. And I've been jumping as fast as I can as well.
Frame shift drive charging.
This is gonna take a while. It's gonna take a long time. Anyway, Ikwik, what are you up to? If you're still lurking. 1 hour, says Reem. Thank you.
3.
You are my official timekeeper now. Ikwik's like, why is this guy not jumping with neutron stars? What the fuck is his deal? And why doesn't he use VR?
Fuel scoping.
Because this ultra widescreen monitor is better than VR. There, you heard it now.
Fuel scoping.
Even though I can't, the downside of doing this is I can't use that in ultra widescreen. I'm using this in the full HD mode at the moment because you know, gotta stream that. The Franker Face Z add-on? What the heck's that? As an uptime thingy. Well, I've got a stopwatch right here in my Steam Deck. I just didn't push it. I just forgot to click the button to start it. So I can tell you, ED Market Connector tells me that I've jumped 1,400 light years since we started this. I can tell you that much. That's something. Also, I'm 18,000 light years from Seoul. I'm actually getting up to my record. My current record is 22,000 light years from Seoul. So,
fuel scoping.
Coming up to that. Well, if we get to that waypoint, I will
fuel
have
scoping complete.
I will have shot past that record. That will be interesting. Treading new ground. What is the Franker Face Z add-on? Is that for Elite?
Drive charging.
Or is it for the Oculus? All you VR nutters.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Engage. Franca faces. Okay. I'll check that out later. Well, actually, I could probably click on that. Oh, my voice is going. Oh, it's Twitch. Okay, it's a Twitch enhancement thing. Right. Yeah, I mean, I can just go to the dashboard on this. Oh, but then
Fuel scoping.
this shit happens and I fly into the sun. Ah, look at that lovely blue light. I love that. Oh my god, this is so
Fuel
cool.
scoping complete.
Ah, lovely. So lovely. Oh, I love these system names as well. Ear Ozzy. Ear Ozzy Yow. Ear Ozzy Yow. Sounds like Scottish.
Frame shift drive charging.
I guess Igwig isn't lurking anymore. Try to invoke him. Hey, Igwig! You lazy fuck.
Four.
Now that
Three,
he's already there, he's like,
One. Engage.
I have to watch him fly there after I've done this. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I don't know what I should rant about next.
Fuel scoping.
Maybe the fact that my Moto Guzzi is falling apart, that's fucking annoying. Well, I don't
Fuel
think
scoping complete.
we'll make it today. I think we'll need a second try. I think if I do half of the way, be quite happy.
Frame shift drive charging.
I had no idea that this was such a long lag. I would have started earlier.
4, 3, 2,
It's a bit
1.
annoying.
Engage.
Yeah. Well. Nothing to it. We just have to jump and
System
honk
scan
more.
complete. Fuel scoping.
It's like everybody else going via neutron stars. Am I the
Fuel
only one
scoping
who's
complete.
doing this like old school? With my pitiful jump range of 33 light years. I used to have 34. I don't know what I did here. Should probably turn the shields off again.
Shields offline.
Don't really need shields. We don't need shields where we're going.
Frame shift drive charging.
Reamt is updating Pathfinder Kingmaker. It's a 23 gigabyte update. Guess I have not played it in a long time.
4, 3, 2.
Reamt says, thing is there's so many neutron stars on the way, it's really hard to miss them. I haven't seen one. I'm just plotting a normal course. I haven't seen one. Also, I'm really averse to damaging my ship. Even if it's the FSD drive and it's 5%. I know I have an AFMU, but I want to keep that for when I fuck up.
Fuel scoping.
So Pathfinder Kingmaker. Is that... It rings a bell, but I can't
Fuel
remember. Is
scoping
that like
complete.
D&D? Are we talking D&D Pathfinder? I bet you didn't select non-sequence stars. I don't know. Is that something you need to like do? I selected fastest route. Use jet cone boost. I've that out. You know. Is there anything else I need to be aware of? Do I need to set something else here? Where do I select non-sequence stars? I don't know what you're talking about. Is that a setting somewhere else? Should be here, right? I don't know. Under map. Well, under map. Map. It's so hard to describe these menus. Oh, here. Ah, probably here, right? Map. Show trade routes. It's the star symbol. Okay, how systems are represented in the... Guess probably not here. Oh, no, I don't want that. It's a drop down. You're not describing this really well. And I have no clue what, like, show all? Like, what? What are we looking at? What are we looking for? Show grid options. It should be under options, shouldn't it? Show star names, but that's just normal map option. That's a drop down. There's the allegiance thing. That's a drop down. Okay. Yeah. Select star class there. I don't have. Oh, it's down here. Aha. No, non-sequence stars are selected. Got everything. I don't have apply filter to route. Should I apply filter to route? But it has everything. OBAF. This. By the way, the interface in this game is sometimes horrible. This is getting like, it's starting to be like fucking the other space game, EVE Online. Proto stars, carbon stars. I don't even know what a carbon star is. Wolf Raid stars, White Dwarf. These are Games Workshop stars. Do they have a copyright claim on that? I have apply filter. So guess. Do I have to replot the route? I mean, we can try that. So let's recalculate the route. Right. No, calculate the route there, you fuck. Star class, black hole. Brilliant. I don't think that changed anything. We'll see.
Frame shift drive charging.
I think I'm just subconsciously avoiding neutron stars. Because I don't know how to fly into the fucking cone.
4,
It's like,
3,
I don't
2,
know.
1. Engage.
I don't know how that works. So we're going the old school way. If you like it or not. I need to. Wow, my voice is going. It's like. I usually don't have that. I can talk for hours. I mean, I've talked for hours. I did a podcast before this, but still. Christ.
Fuel scoping.
You know what I need?
System scan complete.
to search every time. I think we all have to.
Fuel scooping
Into the
complete.
cone, but away from the blue hot star. Easy. Yeah, and then you overheat or something. I don't know. I feel like what I need right now is an Earl Grey. Hot. Like Captain Picard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head back there. Right? I'm gonna head over there and get myself an Earl Grey back in the bowels of the ship, and I'll be back soon. So hang in there. See you in a bit. Right. Ship hasn't exploded.
Frame shift drive
That would have
charging.
been very embarrassing. I do this quite regularly, where I just leave the ship somewhere and then go to another room. But that would have been very annoying. Gotta tell you, the replicator is slow today.
1.
But I've
Engage.
replicated myself some excellent bulgur salad. It's as good as if I had cooked it myself. And of course an Earl Grey. But I just realized I'm also a bit hungry. Haven't eaten since like 12. By the way, I'm having a newfound appreciation to like people who stream all day. I mean, I can talk with the best of them, but like the voice
Fuel
alone, like
scoping.
strain on the voice, it's quite something.
Fuel
I don't know how
scoping
people
complete.
like Ponyhoff do that. Like 8 hours of talking. Oh great. I spilled some food in the cockpit. It's always bad. Especially in 0G. Floating around everywhere. Damn. It's like the first spoonful as well. Like, can't hit your mouth. Right. I've got bulgur
Frame
floating
shift
around
drive
the whole
charging.
spaceship. I've just been thinking. That stuff called bulgur in English as well? We have to look this up now.
4, 3, 2, 1.
5 Sekunden Regel. Wasn't on the ground long. Right. Everything's dirty. Christ. Don't eat and stream, people. Why is this jump taking so long? Is the game gonna crash? When that happens, so I think the game's gonna crash. No, it's all good. Yeah, so bulgur is bulgur. Apparently that is the English word. The German word is Weizengrütze.
Fuel scoping
Have some,
complete.
some lovely Weizengrütze Salat. Excellent. Oh, fuck. That's gonna be mighty strong Earl Grey. Ooh. That's gonna wake me up for sure. Hello, still in Ozzy. Ozzy.
Frame shift drive charging.
Could always also be Schweizerdeutsch. Or Aussie. Grüezi or Aussie. Es ist Swiss for Guten Tag, Sie sind ein Australier. Hello, you're an Australian.
2.
Grüezi or Aussie. Today trying to coax Igwig to say something in the chat.
Fuel scoping.
I'm making fun of the Swiss people.
Fuel scoping complete.
Schluchtenscheißer. Oh, this is excellent.
Frame shift drive charging.
This replicator is damn slow, but the recipes are amazing. It's almost as if Mom had done this Weizengrütze.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Hope you have something to eat in case I'm making you hungry. I hate that when I'm like working, I don't know, at noon, and I watch like a streamer and they get something really nice to eat in, like the wife hands it in, like, you know,
Fuel
Dr.
scoping.
Disrespect, like a sausage on a knife, Man,
Fuel scoping complete.
I know how you feel at that point. Unless you don't like Bulgur, then you're probably okay. Grace is great too. From the Occamp 10 mug. It was 9 years ago. Old school.
Frame shift drive charging.
150 jumps to go. That was 50 jumps, man. In over an hour. I'm really slow.
4, 3,
Quick.
2, 1.
Just sitting there
Engage.
on that waypoint, laughing his ass off. Righto.
Fuel scoping. System scan complete. System scan complete.
I'm gonna have so
Fuel
much money
scoping complete.
just from the honking. Once this is over, I'll probably be able to buy an Anaconda just from that. Like, I have 30. I think I earned 30 million since this expedition started, just from jumping and honking. I think, yeah. No, I think more. I think I started with like 4 million or something.
Frame shift drive charging.
So that's pretty impressive. For me. Other people probably make that in a week with like void opals or whatever. The current thing is
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
not bad. The money, yeah, that's okay. Oh look, Antares Fusion is online. Haven't talked to him in ages.
Fuel scoping.
Now in Aussie Oops. Or
Fuel
Aussie, or we're
scoping
going to
complete.
or Aussie Oops. These names, man. These names.
Frame shift drive charging.
So, I'm really looking forward
4,
to the way back
3, 2.
when we're doing the
One.
Voyager route.
Engage.
It'll be really interesting when we move through the warp and the Borg territory. And they come after us with the cube. I mean, how scary would that be? Just jumping in the system and you hear like loud in that scary like voice. We are the Borg.
Fuel
Your
scoping.
technological and biological somethings will be added to our own.
Fuel scoping complete.
Power down your weapons. Resistance is futile. Man, that would be great. Oh! Oh, I thought that system was called DS9. It's just D9. Yeah.
Frame shift drive charging.
Although we're very far from DS9, I think. We are long left the Alpha Quadrant, I think.
4, 3,
Have we?
2,
Well, I
1.
guess it's still the Alpha
Engage.
Quadrant. Well, I'd have to look that up. In a second. Right.
Fuel scoping.
Right. Let's
Fuel scoping complete.
think we need to like Earth is here. I think this is we're right at the border between the Alpha and the Beta quadrant, I guess. Map mode star class. Okay. Well, I guess that is correct.
Frame shift drive
So-
charging.
Frameshift drive is charging. That was excellent. Uncharacteristically healthy for me as well.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
Wasn't even a shred of meat in that. Completely vegetarian. Probably vegan, right? I think that was vegan. It's only bulgur and like vegetables and a bit of mint.
Fuel scoping.
Shit, that was vegan. I think I
Fuel
need to
scoping
fix myself a
complete.
burger tomorrow to make up for that. My cells aren't happy. Where shall we produce all this toxic testosterone from? You're just feeding us vegetables. The fuck's going on? Ah! That's
Frame
my
shift
cell
drive
voice.
charging.
They're all like little grumpy bearded blokes with hats. Ah! Feed us meat! You fucker! What are we paying you for?
4, 3.
You know there's meat in the fridge.
Engage.
There's always a piece of minced meat frozen. Although I think we used it. I think I need to refill that. The meat reserve. There's always meat in the fridge and alcohol in the cupboard.
Fuel scoping.
Gotta keep appearances up.
Fuel scoping complete.
I really love this expensive fuel scoop. Like the last trip I did, exploration
Frame shift drive
trip,
charging.
I actually had to be careful. Oh, getting a bit hot here. I had to be careful that I wouldn't like run out of fuel. But now it's just like so.
4,
Oh,
3, 2.
is that you, Reamed?
Engage.
Isn't that your commander name? What are you doing? You're trying to intercept me. I'm on to you. I'm on to you. Yeah, I saw that. Saw that, mate. Unless you're in fleet comm, you won't be able to get me. Of course, not flying
Fuel
in
scoping.
public. I'm not dumb. I
Fuel
want Harry
scoping
Potter
complete.
getting on my ass. Is that guy still around? Didn't you sign in? Or am I confusing you with somebody?
Frame
Alright,
shift
what's your
drive
commander
charging.
name? Or maybe not. Is that somebody else? I don't know. So this is where my memory
3, 2,
leaves me.
1.
I can't remember people's real names. Can't remember all their online identities as well. It's like, what? Yeah, then maybe it's not you. Or somebody has hijacked your account! Plot twist. Who was that? Yeah, maybe you got hacked.
Fuel scoping.
If you're asking that, you probably did get hacked. Everybody's hacked.
Fuel scoping.
You're hacked, and
complete.
you're hacked, and you're hacked. That's the really dark opera. Everybody's hacked. What's your commander name? If it's false, then you got hacked. Don't
Frame shift drive charging.
don't use password as your password, kids. Or literally horse battery stable. That would not be a good idea either.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Damn, I don't have a I don't have a red alert button. I only have this.
Auto-destruct sequence armed.
So yeah, that's for reamed.
1 minute to auto-destruct.
Look, that's me. Did I just... I don't know. Did I miss something? Maybe I missed it now.
Fuel scoping.
Oh, yeah, that's you. Okay, sorry. There was somebody else.
Fuel scoping complete.
Somebody else I flew with recently, and I was surprised that was their commander name. Okay, maybe sorry.
Frame shift drive
Stream
charging.
delay. TM. Yeah, sorry for making you think you were hacked. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. I'm confusing people. Can't people just have the same name everywhere?
2,
Fuck's sake.
engage.
Also, I guess I'm doxing people's commander name on stream, but yeah. With my 5 listeners, watchers. That's not gonna... We're all good people here.
Fuel
Probably
scoping.
all part of the Discord.
Fuel scoping.
But
complete.
it's nice that you logged in just to verify. This is all part of my plan to get Frontier the daily logins they need, you know. They're paying me good money to scare people into thinking they're hacked so they will log in.
Frame shift drive
Daily
charging.
login numbers are important for the investors and shit. Oh god, these jumps are not going down, are they?
4,
Christ's sake.
3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete.
Fuel scooping complete. Right. So what else been going on?
Frame
Today.
shift drive charging.
I'm almost out of topics I could talk about, I think. My life hasn't been that interesting. Already started a new podcast today. It's that's it.
4, 3,
I
2.
wrote a story
Engage.
about a Linux kernel vulnerability. It's if you're in my job, that is not exactly exciting. Reamed says it wasn't my fault. He wanted to log in. Yes. To farm some materials for AFMU repairs. I guess okay. So I guess this is because of the neutron star jumping, right? So how do you farm these with the? You land on a planet and use the buggy.
Fuel scoping.
I'm asking because I didn't take a buggy for weight reasons.
Fuel scoping complete.
Because that's the normal way of farming these
Frame
materials.
shift drive
I
charging.
brought a mining laser, so I can do that in space. Drive your rover, yeah. So do you need materials for the fuel for the rover? It's like, is that how it works?
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Is that how you do it? I really need somebody to
Fuel
explain some
scoping.
things to me in Elite.
System scan.
It's not like I have been playing this game since Alpha.
Fuel
guess.
scoping complete.
He's still jumping. Yes, Igwig, where the fuck were you? It's making fun of Swiss people. Where's the cam? So this is my. So I've got several views. I can turn the cam on. You know, if you're afraid that I'm not there, I can switch back. And can turn the cam back on. Yes, I got 137 jumps to go, my friend.
Frame shift drive
Oh.
charging.
To win in Company of Heroes. Playing Company of Heroes, like the first one.
4, 3.
Meanwhile, I was ranting about Star Trek,
Engage.
and then I replicated myself some food and Earl Grey. Cheers. Now I'm actually more hungry. I might have to jump to the replicator in a bit again. This is one of these things where you like eating just makes you more hungry. So did you win at Company of Heroes? Was it the first one? Did you win? And did you play the Brits?
Fuel scoping.
You were saying in Discord that you were fighting the
scoping
Oberkommando der
complete.
Wehrmacht. He won. Great. Were you streaming that, or were you just
Frame shift
doing
drive
that for your own
charging.
satisfaction? Destroyed the Oberkommando. Yeah, I'm ambivalent about that. On the one hand, you can't really be for the Nazis.
4, 3, 2.
On the other hand, you know,
Engage.
my family was on that side back in the day. As you know, as they all were. So I have complicated feelings about this matter.
Fuel scoping. System scan complete.
And yes, I'm still jumping. I will
System scan
probably
complete. Fuel
give up
scoping
on getting there
complete.
today because reasons. I'll try to go as far as I can, and then I will do the rest. I guess tomorrow. I think I have to do it tomorrow
Frame shift
because
drive
weekend
charging.
and parents and no time. I won't complain though. My mom's bringing my Star Trek uniform. Oh, sorry, wrong. So it's gonna be great.
1.
So with a bit of luck, we get it all. You should do neutron jumps. Yeah, I haven't seen a single neutron star, and I'm not plotting that. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, man. But with a bit of luck, from next week I can stream this in a proper Star Trek. I can stream. I mean, I got a space suit, you know, with a patch and everything. But I might stream from time to time. Stream in the Starfleet uniform. Can't beat that.
System scan complete. Fuel
You should
scoping.
plot your map.
Fuel scoping
You should
complete.
turn on FSD boosting just for giggles. So, yes. Why was I not wear a Starfleet uniform while playing Elite? Why not? What's wrong? I mean, I'm going I'm on a mission of exploration here. This is within Starfleet's remit, right? Okay. So let's just for shits and giggles destroy my ship. So how do I do this? I just go use jet cone boost, right? And then I replot, I guess. I say you must not have an opinion about this, Igwig. You are Swiss. You're not allowed to have an opinion. You should be ambivalent about this. So is that now plotting the route? Is that all I need to do? Now success 63 jumps. So I guess the Starfleet is very Swiss. No, they shoot at things with photon torpedoes. So let's do this. I'm doing this, guys. If I die, it's your fucking fault. What's wrong with the stars there? What? Like, what? Here they had like... They had like a star catalog and they're not? I don't know. Fix that frontier, that looks shit.
Charging.
Starfleet is not neutral. They have a neutral zone, but they're not exactly neutral. They, you know, they're okay. They have the first prime directive, but wouldn't like they're neutral towards non-spacefaring civilizations, I guess. But they're not neutral towards the Ferengi. Also, quite a big military force. I like arguing with Igwig about Swiss things. Oh, here we go. Okay, so right. So that's our first neutron star. So what do we do? So we fly into the cone, right? Is here good? Is that good? Can I do that? It's wobbling around. Is that good? How do I do this? Okay, Reamed. I'm gonna need your help here. Can I fly in there? It will take some time. We have some stream delay. How do I do this? Jonathan, neutral my ass. They're like, we need to bring this place freedom and get there or to power our replicators. Yeah, it's true. They're very American, aren't they? But angle yourself away from the star. Away from the star! Okay. Away from the star. Because you lose like control, right? When you go in. Okay. Right, I'm doing this now. If this fucks me, I'm gonna be very annoyed.
Warning. Frame shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Okay. I guess.
Frame shift drive supercharged.
Okay, I guess that's what we wanted, right? Bzzzt, bzzzt, bzzzt. Okay.
Frame shift drive charging.
134 light year jump. I did it. I'm going where no fab has gone before. Oh, this is exciting. Maybe I'm kind of glad you talked me into this.
2, 1, engage.
Igwig is like, yay! He's done it. He stopped being afraid. Ah, a normal star. I'm kind of relieved a little bit.
Fuel scoping.
Thanks, guys, for holding my hand through that.
Fuel scoping complete.
Let's see what that has done to our frameshift drive. Okay, well, 1%. That is within reason, I guess.
Frame shift drive charging.
Ah, that was exciting. Whoa! Adrenaline.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Yeah, I know about like the top right and seeing what the next star is. I just usually don't pay attention to it.
Fuel scoping.
Also, like, it doesn't say neutron star, does it? It's
Fuel
like another.
scoping complete.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Frame shift drive charging.
Class G, white, yellow. Yeah, you can guess the star in which space, yeah.
3,
They patched that, by the way.
1.
That
Engage.
they changed, at some point they changed how which space looked. And the star used to be always yellow. M class, I guess. And at some point they patched that, which I really liked. That was like a little thing they did, but it was good. It's very good.
Fuel scoping.
59 jumps.
Fuel scoping complete.
This is saving us a lot of jumps, baby. If it's missing, it's probably a black hole. Yeah.
Frame shift drive
Or like the
charging.
game is being weird. That sometimes happens as well. But yes, if there's no star, I most like if I notice, I mostly power down my engine,
3, 2,
so I won't.
1. Engage.
What happened? Like, has any one of you actually flown into a black hole? Like, what happens? Does your ship just burn? Do you get like a weird effect where everything goes like? Like in wacky science fiction movies.
Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete.
Reem says he hates black holes. I've never gotten close enough to one to actually I've avoided them mostly. Wambio! That's a great name. Let's stay there and settle that
Frame shift
system.
drive charging.
Wambio. Where do you live? In Wambio yo. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. Wambio yo. Wambio yo.
4.
So getting
3,
too close to a black
2,
hole is just hitting the
1.
body exclusion
Engage.
zone. Every star has. Okay, yeah. So you just get hot, right? Like your ship gets hot.
Fuel
Heat
scoping.
it generates depends on its size. Yeah, I don't think that's scientifically
Fuel scoping
accurate, but
complete.
yeah. Would be funny if it just killed your ship. If you fly like into Event Horizon. Or you come out into a mirror universe. Small ones do nothing. Sec A star is quite hot. Well, it's a supermassive black hole, isn't it? Wambio! Wambio!
Frame
Man, I
shift
love
drive
Wambio.
charging.
It's great. Wambio!
4,
Wambio!
3, 2, 1. Engage.
Can't think too long about that or I start singing Last Christmas and we don't want that. Quick, quick, quick! Give me another ohrwurm.
Fuel scoping.
Distortion effect is
System
just scary.
scan
Yeah, you don't know how
complete.
close you are, right? That's
System scan complete. Fuel scoping complete.
that is quite scary. Oh, sorry. I had to stretch a little bit there.
Frameshift drive charging.
Sounded like I broke apart.
Four, three, two, one. Engage.
When? Engage. Engaging. Quite engaging. That is definitely not a neutron star. We just flew past one, I think. I think it's generating these systems. I think I'm the first one there. I think the cloud is going, quick, 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 give me a star system. Fab's going there.
Fuel scoping.
55 jumps left. Should be some neutron stars
Fuel
now at some
scoping
point.
complete.
Wambio, fuck you. Wambio, foo.
Frameshift drive
Slow down.
charging.
Yellow orange star. Class K. Class K. Okay. So Igwig, what's up in Neutral Town?
4, 3,
How's it hanging
1. Engage.
now that you've won against the Wehrmacht? How are things? In Cheeseland.
Fuel scoping.
Fuel scooping. I think I never get tired
Fuel
of that
scoping
voice.
complete.
Okay, still in Vambio. Fuck you.
Frameshift drive charging.
Red Dwarf. The Red Dwarf.
Four, three, two, one. Engage.
SAG A makes me just think of Screen Actors Guild. Screen Actors Guild of America
Fuel
is a black
scoping.
hole.
Fuel scoping complete.
Right. Where's the next neutron star? Now that I think I'm just about ready for one.
Frameshift drive.
Ah, there we go. He says that, and there we go. Neutron star coming up. Let's do this.
Four,
Give
three,
you
two,
a full
one.
view here.
Engage.
Okay. Ooh, that is quite close. Right. Let's do this.
Warning. Frame shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
How he says this. Oh, warning. Frame shift drive operating beyond safety limits. Okay, ready for a massive jump? Here we go. Oh. Oh. And now? What the fuck? Guys? What? Drive fuel use limit. Oh, that was not long enough. What do you mean? I mean, it gave me the message, right? Do I need to do it again? Where's the fucking neutron star? Where? You were too fast. Okay, I fucked it up. Is that the neutron star? So far away. Hard to tell. Okay, let's do this again. Should say something like frame shift drive supercharged. Okay. I thought that operating beyond safety limits was the thing. Okay. No, that's not where. Yeah, we want to go here. Right.
Warning. Frame shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Hasn't done it. Fuck. 12 to 16 meters per second. Okay. Maybe I'm too far away from the center? Okay, it's the speed, right? Okay. Let's try this again. Try this again. Come on, no. Right. Come on, you bastard. Do it.
Frame shift drive.
Ah, here we go.
Beyond safety limits.
Right.
Frame shift drive supercharged.
There we go. Yes, I did notice the distortion, although that's not new, isn't it? It's like that's been around for ages.
Frame shift drive.
Ah,
charging.
here we go. Thank you. Well, in case there's somebody watching who doesn't know how this works,
4, 3.
in case there is another person aside from me, then they're learning now. I still hate it. Why do you hate distortion? Like, what's up with that? I like visual effects like that. Come on.
Fuel scoping.
2%.
Fuel scooping complete.
I have no idea why I find that so scary. Maybe it's the Oculus. Maybe it's just scary in VR. I mean that could be, right?
Frame shift drive charging.
Blue white star. Okay.
Four,
I think
Three,
I'm still not
two,
gonna
1. Engage.
not gonna make it today. But I promise tomorrow I'll do the rest with neutron star jumps. Just for you guys. Just for you. In the future, Ikwik will hate me anyway.
Fuel
And I play
scooping.
Elite in a Star Trek uniform.
Fuel scooping complete.
Ikwik had it. He's exploding. He's immediately unfollowing the channel. A line must be drawn here.
Frame shift drive charging.
Ah, neutron star coming up.
Four, three, two.
Oh, you
One.
play
Engage.
such exploration stuff he plays on his monitor with the controller. I get the monitor thing, but why with the controller? Like, I mean, I'm like Hotez or get the fuck out, right? I mean, we had a podcast episode of Geek News Radio called Permanent Hotez for a reason. So, I'm getting there too quickly, I guess. Come on, come on. Right. Oh god, this is quite hypnotic. Quite hypnotic.
Warning. Frame shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Shit. Hasn't charged it though. You should check the integrity of the FSD. It's okay, it's at 98%. It's nothing to worry about.
Warning. Frame shift drive operating
Ah,
beyond
here we go.
safety limits. Frame shift drive supercharged.
Just more relaxing with controllers. I find, yeah, that must be a personal thing. Like for me, Hotez is the most relaxing thing. Like, if I could control my life with a Hotez, I would.
Frame shift drive charging.
Hotez are the shit. The best thing ever.
Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Still in Wambio space. Right.
Fuel scoping. System scan complete. Fuel scoping complete. Frame shift drive charging.
Oh, now I get it. That's it from Ikwik was because I did the jump correct. Not because of the Starfleet uniform.
4, 3,
I thought you were being
2,
outraged.
1. Engage.
Man, we need a gaming chair.
Fuel scooping.
I've now almost come halfway. We have 3,600 light years to go. I've come
Fuel scooping
3,100.
complete.
Reem says I like both, but there's some things you cannot do with a controller, like flying an Imperial carrier with 500 meters per second through the mail slot. Yeah. I'm not sure I could dock at all with the controller. Still a bit to go for them. Stop zooming. If I don't want you to zoom, fuck off. Quite a bit to go.
Frame shift drive charging.
Radio.
4,
One more
3,
jump.
2, 1. Engage.
It's always one more jump. I think people who play this game must think we're mad, right? Who don't play this game must think we're mad, right? This is ostensibly quite crazy. For controller, you need good key bindings because Elite has so many buttons.
Fuel
Yeah, it
scooping.
does. It has. It's kind of like the quality,
Fuel scooping
the unofficial
complete.
quality measurement for a space sim, isn't it? The more buttons it has, the better. Gotta keep up with Star Citizen in that regard. Anyway, I'm gonna replicate myself some more food. I'll be back in a second. Hang in there. Stay tuned for more neutron star jump action. Oh, look at that lovely lens flare. Look at... Do you know that the shape of a lens flare is due to the shape of the iris on the camera? If you don't, then you just learned something. Reem says, oh right. Do we want to try Star Citizen sometime in the future? We can. I have some money invested in this game, to my shame. The last few times I tried, my PC wasn't able to really run it even if I turn down like all of the settings. And yeah, that was without trying to stream it, so could try again. Not very hopeful. Anyway, where's behind there?
Frame shift
I
drive
figured out why
charging.
Iqwik likes neutron stars so much. Because it almost sounds like they're neutral stars. They're the most Swiss of stars.
3, 2.
I would join you guys this weekend. Yeah, well, you will have to, if it works. Go away. Did you just say this? I did just say that. You
Fuel
will,
scoping.
if you play Star Citizen with me, you will have to stand my incessant
Fuel
bitching
scoping complete.
about the software. I'm not gonna call it a game. I am quite famed for the fact
Frame shift drive charging.
I wrote quite a few stories and columns on Heise. Oh, neutron star. Oh, it's not a game, that's what I'm saying.
4,
That's what I said on Heise.
2, 1.
And
Engage.
I can tell you people didn't like that. Called it a thing. You're ready to suffer through my wine. It will probably be laughing when one of our characters just ends up stuck in a bulkhead, so or falling into space because we can't climb a ladder.
Warning. Frame shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
No, fuck you. Do I have a ship big enough for 3? I have no idea what kind of ships I have. I have no fucking clue, to be honest. I have one ship, which came with, I think, last time I looked in, I had one ship, but that might have been
Frame
because...
shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Why aren't you not charging, you fucker? Yeah. I'm too fast, okay. That's what she said. Sorry, had to go there, had to go there. Story of my life.
Warning. Frame shift drive
There
operating
we go.
beyond safety limits.
Okay.
Frame shift drive supercharged.
I should really look what ship I have. I haven't looked into this game for like a year, I think. I make it a point to look in there once in a while. You know, you don't really
Frame
want to
shift
bitch about
drive
stuff
charging.
and then it changes and it's suddenly a game. I think I only have a small ship as well. I mean, don't you have to pay like 300 euros to have a ship with 3 people?
1.
Isn't that like at a premium? No, we don't. Hey, Ulysses Wolf. Thanks for being around. When I put the camera on. Hello. Nobody in this chat did
Fuel
this.
scoping.
So you paid 300 euros, did you? Iqwik. I mean, you're in Switzerland, you can
Fuel
afford it.
scoping complete.
You probably paid it from your Nazi gold account. Didn't you? I like saying this and then I have to wait for the stream delay for him to explode. And yeah, Ulysses, thanks for having you. Cool that you're here. I am trying to get to the next waypoint. And I'm now using neutron stars
Frame shift drive charging.
I got rid of my fear. One coming up. It's like the price of a bakery good in Switzerland. They're actually a Swiss Brötchen. The good Brötchen is like 300 euros.
1. Engage.
Who knows what the exchange rate of Swiss francs is right now? You're a rear admiral with lifetime insurance? Fuck! I mean, it was quite a while ago. Can we say that was like a youth mistake you made? God, rear admiral. Well, that's like the stupidest rank you can have in any navy. It's like admiral of the ass.
Warning. Frame shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Uh-oh.
Frame shift drive supercharged.
Hey, I'm getting the hang of this. For a while that looked like I was going to be stuck in there though. It's a bit scary. Posted it in the Discord. You're making me look in the Discord. This involves me like switching tabs. What channel? Oh god, you did. Holy fuck. So you have a constellation Andromeda. Isn't that big enough? It says you have a 3-inch model of a spaceship. Did you ever receive that? My god. Rear Admiral Igwig. I'm gonna, this is big enough. Yeah, well, we'll join you on your ship then. We'll, I'll call you Rear Admiral.
Frame shift drive charging.
Oh, another neutron star. Origin 315p. Did you even know what, like, did you even know that there a P belongs at the end of that? That tells me you're way too far into the scam. Man. You know, if I really needed a ship, I could have said I'll try to get a press account, but not that they would ever give me one. I can tell you the story. So okay, so I'd backed this game, and shortly after I'd backed Elite Dangerous, and then Elite came out. And I lost more and more faith into Star Citizen appearing, and that was years ago, right? So we started writing about this on Heise, and I was, you know, I'm quite open with my opinion, so I did write about it. I wrote some opinion pieces, and then I was at Gamescom, and
Frame shift drive operating beyond safety limits.
I scheduled.
Frame shift drive
So,
supercharged.
by the time we went there, and I didn't know Chris Roberts was going to be there. In hindsight, obvious. But then I scheduled a meeting at Gamescom with Chris Roberts, and they were like, "Okay, yeah, sure, just come." You know, we made an appointment, and it was like in the evening. It was like at the end of the day, basically. And then when I got there, oh, we're going to the Norma arm. When I got there, we're on the highway now, lots of neutron stars. They were like, nah, Chris just left. Can't have your appointment.
4, 3,
And to this day,
1, engage.
I am convinced they Googled my name. I gave them a card, right? We made the appointment. this day I'm convinced they googled my name and found like my articles and found like they were pretty critical. Like I've been I've been reading, for example, Derek Smart's stuff, and I've never like quoted him as a source because I don't think, like, I think it's good for getting links and background information and stuff. I wouldn't say he's like a reliable source, but I kind of like the guy though, and I guess they could like read that out of my stories, so I might have mentioned his name once or twice on Twitter. Yeah, so that's, I don't think I'm gonna get a press account from Star Citizen. We'll see. Apparently the single player thing is gonna come out this year or something. It kind of make it sound like it's this year, although they said they're never gonna do release dates again, so who knows? Who the fuck knows? And the first one to know will be Rear Admiral Igwick, of course. Oh, you know, he says he's got a 325A Aegis Avenger and that starter ship. I probably have that starter ship as well. No chance that it'll come out this year. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath. Right, come on.
Warning. Frame shift drive
Check the
operating
frame
beyond
shift
safety
drive, I guess,
limits.
right?
Frame shift drive supercharged.
%95%. Well, that's okay. Constellation has a minimum crew of 3. What do you mean minimum crew? You can't fly it with one person? What kind of a fucking concept is that? Derek Smart's not a person I would trust with anything. Yeah, but to be honest, so is Chris Roberts. I think they cancel each other out quite nicely. Because I wouldn't say Chris Roberts is a reliable source at this point. That's like you're saying, well, Peter Molyneux said this game was gonna do this.
Engage.
Yeah, right. Of course he said that. He's Peter Molyneux. But it works with NPC too. Okay, right. Yeah, that's the problem with Star Citizen being so realistic. I kind of love Elite's like approach to this stuff. Yeah, it's a big ass anaconda, but you can fly it on your own. We've got computerized this in the future. That ship could fly itself anyway. We just need you to look pretty in the cockpit. Man, I could tell you stories about Chris Roberts. this whole war is kind of amazing. If I had a good memory, I could like sit down and write a book on this. Like alone on the stuff I followed on Star Citizen in the last, I don't know, 5-6 years. I could fucking, if I could remember all of that would probably be quite a good book. Well, it would only interest like the 10 people watching the stream right now. But I really like the technical stuff around SC. Yeah, I think they're just overdoing it.
Engage.
I think they're, from a developer perspective, I find SC really interesting. Yeah, it's a good model for how not to run a software project. Like, hey, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like having like an imaginary spaceship expo every year, and then like basically making a video with like fake Jeremy Clarkson. I mean, I love Grand Tour, don't get me wrong, I found that hilarious. That was great, like down to the way they modeled his teeth, perfect. But like, would you put your developer resources into that. Like, if that was a normal
Fuel
company,
scooping
you know,
complete.
CEO would have said, guys, here's all the shit that isn't ready. No, you're not telling the CGI guys to create a fake Jeremy Clarkson. You're not putting on a fake spaceship expo. What you're doing is gonna make it so that when I walk along the corridor, my character doesn't fall to the floor into space. Like, that's the thing you guys are working on this week. I want that fixed.
Frameshift drive charging.
I think Roberts is great as a... Like, he should just, in my opinion, should never be in charge of anything. He's great as a visionary, right? He's great at the, I don't know, what Rick Sternback is to Star Trek Next Generation, where you just, like, you make up all this shit and you think about it and that stuff. But, like, as soon as he's in charge of anything, doesn't have to be a video game. I mean, the fucking Wing Commander movie, like, man, if you want a reality check, watch that. I don't know if it's still on Netflix. It was on Netflix. I watched that when I was in the middle of like doing research for Star Citizen, just like to refresh my memory. And literally, I got 20 minutes into it, and I went to the liquor cabinet. I shit you not. I went to the liquor cabinet, grabbed the bottle of Lefroy, and I drank a lot of whiskey before that film was over. It's quite fun when you're drunk. When you're not, it's very painful. So Reem says, no, not that operational stuff, more like the technical problem from transferring a ship from space onto a planet without a loading screen. Quick says he's a good visionary, but not a good chef, I think. Yeah, what you mean is he's not a good boss. Chef would be, he would be the cook. I don't think he would be a good chef either. Yeah, I find that the whole without the loading screen, you know, for the technical stuff, I find great as well. But they're a shitty model for that, because, I mean, you can say about Derek Smart what you want, but it's obvious that they picked the wrong engine. I mean, that is obvious. It's obvious alone by the fact that they changed it 2 times now. And you do not change a game engine through the middle of a game's development. I mean, people do that, but talk to the developers. Like, talk to I know people personally who have worked on games, and these were quite smaller projects, where they changed the engine in the middle of the thing. And that is the worst thing you can do to a video game developer. That is just cruel. And you might get the game working in the end, but it's gonna involve a lot of pain. Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just, you know. It's still the same engine. Well,
Frameshift drive charging.
It depends. I think legally they would say it's not. Because they're currently being sued by Crytek over the fact that they changed it and then said it's not. Because apparently, before the game was even announced, Crytek collaborated on them, you know, when they had their prototype, to do like the Kickstarter videos, and apparently as part of all of this whole deal, that's what Crytek says, Cloud Imperium stipulated that they would, you know, it's a standard gaming engine license, you know, that you have to say that it's in this license. And Star Citizen now is saying it's another engine, because it's Lumberyard, which is the port, I guess.
Fuel scooping complete.
It's a different derivative of CryEngine. Oh yeah, it's Amazon engine thing. Yeah, it's Lumberyard, yeah. But I wouldn't say it's the same engine, because the point of Lumberyard is it's an engine made for online games. I mean, it's CryEngine, but I think, God, I'm not a game engine specialist, but from what I understand, is that CryEngine is not really made for like massively connected online games. And one of the things that Amazon has done is fix it. Like, the other thing is, of course, it's free, I think. Lumberyard is free because it ties in heavily with AWS.
3,
And when you
2,
use it, you get the engine for free, but you have to store all your stuff in AWS, which of course makes Amazon money, so they can give you the engine, and they're just licensing the engine from Crytek. But as far as I can understand, they used Cloud Imperium used CryEngine. Then they forked it because they had to change netcode, because surprise,
fuel
it
scooping.
wasn't the right engine for what they were doing. Then they figured out that that was hard.
Fuel scooping complete.
Then, okay, this is all hearsay, but then Crytek had financial problems and they poached quite a lot of engineers from Crytek, which is why the Squadron 42 Frankfurt office is very close to the Crytek office in Frankfurt. And then they figured out, hey, Amazon's basically doing what we needed to do. So let's switch to Lumberyard, because then we'll actually get the support. I don't think it was a money thing, but like if you fork the engine yourself, like what they actually did, as far as I understand, and Crytek I think said that in the lawsuit, is that
Frameshift drive
they did
charging.
fork it and then paid Crytek to do fixes, like to backport fixes and stuff, and backport changes, and then they dropped that business relationship. As far as I can understand, poached some employees, tried to do it themselves, couldn't, then figured out, hey, let's use Amazon. I don't think they can switch the engine completely. I mean, they've sunk what they said, over $100 million into the development now. Yeah, I don't think they can duplicate that. But I do think they. Oh shit! I'm way too fast. I do think they picked the wrong engine.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Come on.
Frameshift drive supercharged.
I think they picked that engine because A, it's beautiful, and B, Chris Roberts always had it in his head that this thing would also be a shooter, and it's a good shooter engine. But
Frameshift
it's not a
drive
good
charging.
MMO engine. Igwig has to neutron jump into his bed. Yeah. I'm gonna quit this soon as well. Thanks for being around.
Engage.
Have a good flight. Thank you. Probably said that too late. I was busy ranting about Chris Roberts. Yeah, this is what you get if you start Star Citizen with me. I think I'm gonna call it quits as well. It's quite late. Let's see where we're at, and then right, 32 jumps. I think that is quite a good jumping off point for the for the next adventure, isn't it? I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow. So tomorrow, maybe at the same time as today, I'll try to do the rest of the way, see where we're at, and of course I'm gonna keep neutron jumping. So, oh, sorry. What was that, man? Sorry about that. It's all the coke. It's too much coke. Yeah, more than half with the neutron jumps tomorrow. That'll be good. Okay. Thanks for being part of this. Reem says I'll patch Star Citizen overnight and we'll post some screenshots just to trigger all of you. Yeah, why don't you do that? Do that in the Discord. Discord.sixgun.org. I can only recommend it. It's great. And yeah. Thanks thanks for being part of this and for hanging out and listening to my rants about Star Trek Discovery and Star Citizen. Ranting about things with Star in the name. Why not? It's quite fits this game, I think. Yeah, okay. Thank you for being part of the stream. Always appreciate it. Thanks everybody who subscribed. Thanks everybody who's following. It's all appreciated. Anything, cheers. Anything you can do. Or for just hanging out and saying hello in the chat or not, or just watching. I'm happy. Do whatever you want. This is a free channel. And yeah. I'll see you tomorrow, I guess, for more jumping and honking. Until then, fly safe, commanders. Goodbye.